Dorothy here with Done by Dorothy, and we are here today. We're working on our For the Love of Australia journal, and we're actually going to be doing the inside cover. So the inside cover, let me grab my ruler because I do have some measurements. Excuse me. I'm just going to be using some sort of different scrapbook papers that I have that sort of are in a greenish goldish tone. So that's what I'm actually using today. So I had this one. Let me trim this up just till this just a little bit crooked over here. I'm using this with a based cardstock just because this happened to be a little bit shorter. So I wanted to make it, just a little bit bigger, and that, got me about a ½ inch more. And I'm just trying to use up some old cardstock. So if you want to mat this, the mat part that I'm using on this is basically 7 inches by 3 1/8. And then the base that I'm using is 3 1/2 by 7 3/8. So we'll do that one first. Let's get it put together because of it being a mat. And I'll try to let you know the sizes. I'll measure everything as I'm putting it on. I'm just going to ink these edges up. This paper did have a little tear on the bottom of it, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to be gluing it down and I'm putting the mat on top of it. So I don't think you're going to be able to really tell a lot once we get it done there, although it may give it sort of a little bit of a rugged look. We're actually going to put some lacing and stuff across the bottom. So and this is going to create, it'll be a pocket with a small hidden pocket built behind it too. So okay, so let me go ahead and glue this down on my mat. And like there's words on the back. I was just using, and like I said, these are just scrap pieces that I have left of a paper pad that I had. It actually came from Walmart. I think I paid $5 for it on clearance or so. Let me grab it real fast and I'll show you. It was one of their signature papers called Garden Variety. It is a gorgeous kit. I just don't have, I have paper left in it, but not really enough to do a whole lot with. So I wanted to sort of use it up because it's just taking up real estate on my shelf, and that's a different paper pad I could put on there. So put that on there. I'm gonna re-ink this bottom over here because it just looks like it got a lot of ink on it. And again, like I said, this bottom's really not gonna matter because we're gonna be putting some lace and stuff across the bottom. Okay, so that's going to be the very bottom. And then our center section is 8 1/2 by just 5 1/8. So it will fit all the way across our covers, so we won't have to trim it or anything, which is going to make it super, super nice. The very bottom, I sort of got a couple small different, this is going to be actually gluing onto the backboard, and because I'm sort of layering to do a cascading set of pockets, I don't mind using the thinner paper because there's going to be multiple layers on it. It's not going to be just that single layer trying to pull off a pocket, because this is really, I don't even know if it says what the GSM on it or not. I mean, this is like, these are pretty much like really, really, it's Walmart. So it doesn't even say. But if you're interested in it, I don't know if you can still find it. that's sort of the variety of paper that you get in it. So I mean, it's a really gorgeous thing. I actually made a box with a small photo album in it, using templates off of Genevieve Designs, is actually what I used it for. Okay, so that's what we have there. And then I've got this piece, and I like these because they're sort of green, but they sort of have a golden cast to them, so I thought it would work really well. That is cut slightly crooked. Let me grab my cutter real fast and straighten this out, because that is all kinds of crooked. And again, like I said, this was sort of remnants that I had left, so I'm just sort of trying to use up. I have so much, just, you know, where you buy a pack's not enough, so you buy 2 packs, or you use, you know, a pad of paper, and then you always have that scrap paper left over, you know, that 4 or 5 pages you don't use, or whatever. So I'm trying to use that up. If you hear noises in the background, I apologize. My daughter is running around. Actually, I think she's baking a double chocolate muffin, so we'll let her be in the kitchen. It's nice when they're 14 and they like to cook. So, okay, so that's going to be our second pocket. And then we have, oh, did I measure that? I don't know if I measured that or not. I'm sorry. I will go back just in case I didn't. And it's going to be 8.5. And this is, I'm actually using as a topper, and it's, let's see, 2 7/8. And then this is going to be 8.5 by 6. So, I mean, you could use your coffee dyed paper for this if you don't have any, and then just decorate the outside of the coffee dyed paper. I'm just using this because it's excess. So, you know, as we add to it, you'll be able to see. And again, this is going to be the inside, and I'm just doing some pockets so I have some room to hold things. And because I'm making, you know, this journal to actually use. It's not going to be, you know, my set up on my shelf type journal. I'm actually going to be adding, like I said, before it's over with, I'll put a link up to them, because they'll be the last thing that I add. I'm actually going to be printing calendar pages to put in mine, and actually using mine as like a daily calendar where I can, you know, leave it open, and I've got my pockets to just sort of stuff all my little receipts or whatever, you know, whatnots that I need to do. Okay, this is my top page. I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, so my bottom, you know, it's layered on top of it. So this is going to go down first. And again, I'm not going to use art glitter glue because I want to make sure that I have some wiggle room. And see, that's really pretty right there. I mean, that by itself would be really pretty if, you know, you're doing some kind of pink journal or with butterflies or anything like that. This was a really pretty set. I really liked it. I was sort of mad when I ran out of it. I've not tried to see if I could find any more. I guess I need to. Because I bought 2 of them. And if you ever did any of Genevieve, and I'll put a link, if I think about it when I'm doing, I'll put a link in the description box to her YouTube channel. It's Genevieve, Jenofeve Designs. If you haven't seen any of her stuff, she is spectacular. She does do a lot of templates, so you just literally trace it and cut it out, so you don't have to, you know, deal with a lot of measuring and things. She does some gorgeous stuff. So if you like doing like mini albums and things like that, definitely worth giving her website or her YouTube channel a look. And she also has an Etsy store. So, you know, be sure to check her out. Okay, and I'm going to put my lid on because before I add my extra pages, well, let me sort of lay this out. I'm using this as a topper. So it's actually going to go on top of this, but I only have this little piece left. So it'll go right there. Oh, sorry, I didn't do that right. This will go right here. And then I'll put this on the top of here, which will create sort of my main pocket on the top. And then I'm putting this on the bottom, so I'll have this nice pocket up here that's like a little over half page, and then this bottom one. So I'll have sort of a layered pocket, but I wanted this to go on the side right here because I want this to be like continued down through here. So that we will be doing. So I'm going to really fast. Okay, so pretty much I'm going to be using my small gold paint marker, and I'm just going to be outlining these leaves with the gold. So nothing hard, pretty easy. And again, if you hear noises, I apologize. My kids are running rampant. You know how kids are. Only when you start doing something do they'll sit here all day long on the video games and whatever else, you know, all night without making a noise. And if you try to do a video, then they all get up and take off. And again, I'm just literally tracing around these, so there isn't anything really difficult to it. I'm going to go up here and do these now though, so I don't end up sticking my hand in it. And I'm just outlining them. Just sort of adding to it, you know, getting a little gold in there. I really do like this gold pen. It outlines really nice. This is a Pilot, and the other one was a Krylon. It was a little thicker. This one is a really small tip. It's really nice, and you know, it carries color really well. Because like I just depressed this to add more paint when I first pulled it out, and I've not even had to stop yet it does really well with your outlining. Not coloring in solid so well, but it will. So I'm sorry about taking time here while I do this. You guys are probably sitting there going, seriously? She's gonna sit there and let us watch her do this? But I'm almost done with this. And then we'll glue the bottom part on, and we'll do it, and then it'll peek outside the bottom, but I really wanted the gold to show through. And again, I'm not even being exact because it's a little thicker than some of the lines, so I don't even really have to worry about getting it all. I'm just sort of trying to highlight it, if that makes sense, if you've ever just like penciled around the edge of something. And I mean, this was a pretty plain paper. I mean, you know, it had just the green. There was a lot of designs on it, because there's even this like embossed imprint in the background, but it was pretty solid colored. You know, and this does define it a little bit more. So it adds a little bit. And it's the gold, so we really like adding the gold to it. And now another option is if you don't have the gold and you wanted to add something to it, you could go through it with some stickles. But see, I mean, okay, there's what it looked like without anything on it. There's what it is side by side. I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, it really looks good. And you get that shimmer of that gold, almost like an embossed look. So you have embossing. I mean, I don't know. Let me see if I can get it to where it, yeah, there you can see the glint where it almost looks like it's embossed, without having to emboss. So it makes it really nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one really fast. I am so sorry. I guess I should have had one of these done so you didn't have to sit and watch. And we're just doing this page because I was going to try to do the front too, but I think the front will take a lot longer. And we're going to also do the pencil holder, which is going to go on the front. Is going to be part of the front. So I think we'll save that and do that as one whole video by itself. And then we're going to be going back in and getting some of our ephemera, and then I will probably not, let's see, today is Wednesday, right? Thursday. Tomorrow I'm actually going to try to we'll do the cover and stuff tomorrow, and then probably Friday we'll work on ephemera, and I will link the calendar pages that I'm going to use for that. I just have sort of like a notes page that has, you know, where you can write notes on it. And then there's a dot grid page that I like having just because, you know, with sort of doing this sometimes, or, you know, in digital images and different things like that, I like having that sort of to write on. You know, that dot grid that I can, you know, either, you know, outline on, or I can actually draw on it. Sometimes you get ideas, and it's nice to have a place just to write it down. Especially, you know, some of those ideas you come up with at, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up and it's on your mind, and you get up to go to the bathroom or whatever. So, you know, you can run and write it down really fast if you keep your handy. And then, I mean, you can also use it, you know, as a diary or a journal, because we do have our little small journals in there. So there is a journaling spots in there that you can use. Or you could put, you know, your pictures for the month in there. You know, technically you could put coupons in there if you wanted to. I mean, you can use it for, you know, a lot of different things. You know, there's quite a few. I'll have to look and count again. I think we did 6 internal pages, I think, which gave us actually 7 little divider areas. I'll have to look. I had that all wrote down, but of course I don't have it sitting right here because I need it. And I'm trying to hurry, guys. You guys are probably getting tired of watching me outline this. But yeah, so I mean, we'll have it where we can use it for a lot of little different things, and or you know, you can add more ephemera and, you know, more pages. You're not limited to the pages. You know, if you find your rings are, you know, a little too tight and you can't get your pages really turned or moved right, you can buy larger rings. That you can get some that are huge. I mean, so technically you can make this as large as you want. You just have to buy bigger rings. And because we've used grommets and all of that, you know, you literally can just undo your ring and add a new ring. Or if you don't want to do rings at all, you can take and lace ribbon through it. Instead of the rings, actually use ribbon and, you know, be able to open it with your ribbon. So I just love that gold on there. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I mean, just how it really looks like it's embossed. It just adds such a nice texture to it. Just, it looks like it's raised. Looking at it really close, it's really nice. Oh, you know, y'all should have reminded me of that. Now I could have covered this whole entire page with a base layer and then put all this over top of it. And I could have done that and moved this pocket down a little bit and got a third pocket on there, but I didn't want to add a whole lot of bulk to it. Well, I'm gonna have to do that, but that's okay. I'll get it. If you're gonna put a topper on it, like I'm doing, put your topper on before you glue it down. Okay. But I can go in here and add this, so it's not a problem. But yeah, so I mean, it has the potential, the ring binders do, that you can do, you know, a ton of things. You can also, you know, make your divider pages like that, and then put your clear plastic sleeve protectors in there and use it to stick anything in. You know, if you homeschool, you know, you can do the kids' lessons in there, and maybe, you know, have one, you know, for a month, have a theme for that month, and, you know, build one for that month. You know, if you're doing, well, one of the things, my kids, when they were little, loved anything about flying, so we did a big, huge, massive month-long project study on aviation and different things like that. So, you know, you literally could, you know, make your dividers and then, you know, do it all decorated up with Amelia Earhart and the Wright brothers and Charles Lindbergh and all of that. So yeah, we've got our big long pocket there, so that worked out just fine, and it's all open, so we got a big pocket, so that'll fit like your large full-size pages. I'm actually going to use mine because the calendar pages I'm putting in are not as wide as the full size, so they're, you know, a little bit narrow, so they'll be able to go in there, so I can stick my extra pages in there, and I've got enough gap in there that, you know, I can get several pages in there. Okay, and then this is our bottom. And I did go ahead, and I was going to, but I didn't. I glued my whole front page down. You can glue just around the sides to create a hidden pocket if you want to. With mine being ripped, I was scared if I tried to do a hidden pocket, it would not work out well for me, so. And then this is going to go all the way against the bottom, because I'm going to actually put lace and stuff. And that'll help cover where that rip is, so I could use that torn page as, and I, just a wee bit. Okay. And then I want to use the, well, I thought I would use that, but maybe, I think I'll use the yellow and then run a strip of the green down the center. So let me see. Let me cut the yellow first. And I want it sort of wide because I want it to hang off the bottom. Okay, so I want that to be there and sort of hang off. So I need my green. I'm going to cut just a tad bit, about a half an inch shorter on each side. So I'm going to actually cut that, and I have no idea why I cut that, because I'm going to turn around and rip it, because I don't like I like the ripped edges better. But that's fine. That gave me a little. And then I only need this probably about an inch thick. So there we go. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to put some glue down through there, because I know I can come back and add glue, but you can't take it away if you get too much. So, and I'm going to leave that off a little bit. And again, I'm leaving part of it hanging down to the bottom because I want that sort of ruffled look through the bottom. going to sort of scrunch this back a little bit here because, so they're not as big, because I'm coming through with that green, so I don't want to like bulk it up too much. And then I find when I do these little things like here, I can go in here and just squirt some art glitter glue up in the middle, sort of down the line of the, and it sort of holds it. Sometimes I have to do both sides, sometimes you don't. It just sort of depends on how it decides it's going to work that day. You can smell chocolate bacon. My daughter is baking chocolate muffins. I can smell it coming through. But yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of different things you can, you know, use these for. You know, you can use it as a planner. Of course, you can use it, you know, as your calendar if you want to. You could put sheet protectors in it and put like greeting cards or, you know, anything you get from friends that month in it. You know, they're just, you know, you could, you know, put Bible study notes in it. You could, I'm trying to think of everything. I mean, there's just, it really is endless. You really don't have a set amount of things that you can do. I mean, it's just endless. Just like a journal. You can use a journal for just about anything. Okay, and then I'm going to ruffle this just a little, not a lot, just enough to give it a little bit dimension so it's not just flat and stuck on there, but not so much that it goes all crazy. Okay. Then to add just a little bit, I'm going to put a piece of my gold ribbon down the center just because it helps sort of where that glue was at. It sort of helps cover that up. If there's any darkness that comes through, the ribbon doesn't let it come through near as much as the fabric does. And I mean, you can get by with that. I mean, without it would dry and look perfectly fine, but I'm just goofy about that, so. And that's just going to add a little bit of color in there. Okay, then up here, I actually wanted, I'm trying to find the exact one that I was looking for. Because I thought with the leaves and the butterflies and stuff, it would look really cute to put our koala hanging off there. Just sort of like hanging off the side of the page. I'm trying to peel it off. Hold on a minute. I get glue on my fingers and trying to peel sticker. It just doesn't really want to work. And then I'm going to go ahead and should let me ink up around these edges first. Just because I don't like the stark white. And hopefully I'm trying to stay in frame a little bit more. Sometimes I go out of frame, way out of frame, and I don't realize it till, you know, I've been out of it for a while. And I feel really bad because I'm like, oh, they're sitting there listening to me, but they can't see what I'm doing. I am working on, and I don't know if it'll be by the 1st of March, because I have to get everything settled in and figure out how to use everything is the harder part. But yeah, so I'm going to put my little koala I'm actually going to push this just a tad bit off the edge. And then I'm going to trim that down and ink that because I just want it to look like he's sort of like literally hanging off the edge. And I could have put something underneath there, you know, some cheesecloth, which I always do. But I didn't want Sorry, let me turn over this way. Sometimes it's easier to go from behind than, yeah. There we go. And of course we know he's a koala, but I just wanted him sort of there. I probably should have put some cheesecloth or something around there just to add a little extra. And then when once we get it in the book, I want to come back. I have to, I'm going to, laminate my leaf, and I want to bring it back and sort of put it coming in off this side, just sort of on the same panel as him. So that'll be our finished page, but I want to laminate it just to protect it so it doesn't like gather moisture and that kind of thing and end up molding or anything like that. So I'll actually put it like this, and it'll actually stick up some there, and I'll put some cheesecloth or something behind it, which is why I didn't want to put a lot of, or I may use a little bit, I may use a little of the green fabric. I may do that. I may just put a little bit of the green fabric right there and just sort of put our little leaf coming up off the corner like that. Maybe a little patch of the yellow. Let me cut a little, just a little bitty patch of the yellow here. Sorry about the crashing. I don't know if you can hear my daughter yelling sorry from the other room. She's like, sorry. She knew that she dropped it. Sorry about that. And then we'll just do that little patch like that. Coming off there, just sort of pull it in together. And then we'll put some kind of little tag up here. And I'll probably do that with some of the yellow and the green and the gold at the top, just sort of to create a nice little thing. But that I'll put that on after I do the front. So this pretty much finishes this page. I do have, when we get ready to do our front, I'll go ahead and show you. Well, I'll show you before I get them here. I went ahead and I lucked out and I got some dies at a yard sale, and I paid like $5 for serif lettering, all of the capital and the small. So I did cut out in gold, you know, let me try to put it up here so you can see it better. So I am going to put this on my front cover. Oh, there it is. Well, if I can get it over here. Hold on. Because I dropped my dot. You always got to dot your I. Oh, that actually looks really, really good right there. I'm wondering if I should put, for the love of, and a map on the front. And then have the Australia right there, because I really like that. But no, I want to put it on the front though. I really want to put it on the front. But I may come out, I may do like, because I have the numbers too. So I may do like 2020 and put it up here. Or maybe down here. Ooh, I don't know. That gold looks really good up there though, so I may just put that up there. Okie dokie. So we're going to put that. I've got those and I'm going to save that. That's going to go on the front. So yeah, I think I may do the 2020 up here. I have to laminate this, like I said. And once I laminate it, I could Mod Podge it. Or I could spray it with acrylic sealer. You know, there's a lot of different, you can just paint it with glue, clear glue, or glue that dries clear anyway. There's a lot of things you could do, but I actually think I want to laminate it. just because I want to protect it long term. That's going to keep it from breaking, especially with it hanging out at the top. And I want to make sure I keep it really good. I do think that I'm going to do maybe like the 2020 up here. And maybe my name down here. So I know it belongs to me. So maybe I'll put Dorothy down here and I'll put my 2020 up there and have it ready to go. Or I could put, I could put notes or stamps. I could put stamps and tuck my stamps in there. That's what I'll do. I will put stamps and I can tuck all my little stamps in there, my mailing stamps. So I'll have all that together. Because when I do the calendar pages, I also want to do a page that's like contacts with addresses as I, build up my address book. I can rewrite them and print it in there because I have a really old one that, has those lovely, this one's scratched out because this person moved and, so on and so forth. So, I'll laminate this and I'll glue this down tonight and I'll go ahead and, die cut my letters and put it here. And I'll show you guys tomorrow when it's finished. I could sit and die cut all my letters, but that is tedious for you guys to have to watch, because, they're individual little letters, like that's the number 7, so I have to do so many at a time, so it might be tedious. I could use my Cricut to cut it out. I don't know. But I really like the serif lettering for this. And so I may end up doing a video of doing my die cutting machine. It probably won't be with this one because we're going to end up doing a shabby chic one. And I have some really awesome dies that I would show you, but they're not here, so I can't show you. Well, I mean, they're here, but not here at my desk. So I'll show those to you when we get to them. But yeah, so this is what it's going to look like, except it'll have my name. You guys will see it tomorrow. It'll be sort of an added surprise. I do want to, as I'm sitting here looking, I want to take this golden outline, my koala here, just to sort of add a little bit of gold to there. That just caught my eye and I was like, he needs a little bit of something, something. And I will, like I said, I'll try to remember to link Genevieve Designs. If not, if you just search for her, she has tons of stuff, but it's just some really awesome templates. It's just some digital papers, a lot of different templates for albums and stuff, but she also has like a build embellishment sets, and she's got like a tag set that has like tons of tags in all different shapes. And you can put her stuff through a scan and cut, so, or a, Cricut or whatever you want to use. So, might be an idea for some people, if you don't want to set and cut tags out or whatever, you can do that. I gotta cut some of that out because it's a little too shaggy for me. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in today, guys. Again, I'm not gonna sit and go through all the spiel. You guys know all the links are in the description box below. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever, all of that mumbo jumbo. I'm not going to sit and go across that every single video because it's just tedious, and you guys know what to do anyway. Everybody's used to YouTube. So again, we'll be back tomorrow with the cover. We'll be doing the cover, and then we'll just have the small little bitty things to throw in the middle. I will be painting my hole reinforcers tomorrow, so you guys can see how I do that. I actually use a sponge and paint them. It's pretty simple to do, and then you just let them dry. Well, you can dry them with a gun. It doesn't take very long at all. So we'll be using our Inca Gold metallic paint for that. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.